So the system, when you receive it, will come in a bag and consists of three main parts. So you've got a base station, two fencer packs, which either come with a clip or without a clip, depending on your needs, and then a charger which will be supplied with it. Wireless fencing is fundamentally different to wired fencing, and there's a few key things that you need to know before you get started that will help you to get set up and get fencing really quickly and easily. The first thing to note is that you can't set out the pieces on a bench like this, start plugging in foils and lames and prodding things and expect it to work like a wired system would work. It won't work at all unless there is actually a fencer in proper fencing kit within the system, and it relies on that in order to work properly. The next thing to be aware of is that the direction that the pack sits in your pocket is essential for the proper functioning of wireless fencing. So the antenna's on this side of the pack, and we've put this big logo of an antenna on this side to remind you that this side must always face out to ensure you get a good connection to the base station. Once you're up and fencing, there's a few things you shouldn't do in order to make sure that the kit works as it ought to. So the first thing is, in foil, sometimes when you hit your own hand test with your own thumb, you'll get a coloured light rather than a white light. Now, this initially upsets or distracts foilists who aren't used to that happening and expect to always see a white light. However, in conventional wired épée, it's exactly the same. If you hit your own thumb, you'll get a hit, effectively. So when you're testing, instead of testing on your thumb, for foil particularly, always test on your foot or your opponent or the floor off to the side of the piste. The other thing to note is that if you want to test against your opponent, either to test their lame or something like that, then you should never hold your own blade while you're testing, so never grab your blade and then press it against the other person. Never hold your opponent's blade and press it towards yourself, and never let a third party, such as a referee, hold the blade and press it against them. So you should always test in a normal fencing action with the blade in your hand, either on your opponent, on the floor, or on your foot. This doesn't interfere with weight testing for foil, weight testing for épée, or using a gauge to check your travel in épée. In order to link a pack to a base station, we've tried to make it super simple and super quick so you can jump from piece to piece very quickly. So all you do is you take your pack, and anything that gets put in front of this antenna here will bring the yellow light on. Whatever item is put in front of it will bring the yellow light on, but obviously it won't synchronize to it unless it's a turned on pack. So in the case of synchronizing this one, if I want to move from one side of the piece to the other, then you simply go there, and that you'll see the light's gone blue to show that it's moved. And it's really that quick and simple to move from one side to the other. And likewise, once you want to move from piece to piece, you've just got to walk up to the next box, wave your fencer pack in front of it, it'll go blue to synchronize you to that piece, and then you'll be ready to fence on the new piece. For foil and épée, the calibration routine is super quick and simple. Basically, all you do is any hit at the beginning when you first turned anything on will bring two blue lights up on the base station. And you can't start fencing until you've done the calibration. So to calibrate for foil, you do 2 hits to the opponent's target, and then the other person does 2 hits to the opponent's target, and what will happen is the blue light will go out once you've done those 2 hits and you're ready to fence. For épée, it's 2 hits to the guard, so it's both ways, 2 hits to the guard, and then you're good to fence. Now, it's important to remember that you need to recalibrate every time you change anything within the system. So if you change a weapon or a fencer or a body wire or whatever, you need to recalibrate. So to initiate a recalibration is super easy. All you've got to do is turn off any one of these things. So by far the easiest thing to do is with the pack in your pocket, you literally just need to click it on and off as quickly as that, which you can do without even removing it from your pocket. The last thing to talk about in this video is the piece detection mode. So this setup can automatically detect piece in foil and épée. Generally in fencing, if you aren't using a piece, we recommend you leave this off. But if you are using a piece, you simply press this button to bring the green LED on here, and you'll then be in piece mode. Calibration will be exactly the same as it is for non-piece mode, but for foil and épée then, when you hit a metal piece, you won't get any hit.